What's going on, guys? Common question right now is the bull market over, right? Or is this just a deviation to the downside of the range? Um, Honestly, multiple ways to look at this, especially if you're on the daily time frame, right? So let's just take a look. We've got, since we hit $72,000 a month ago, we've been forming lower highs and lower lows, right? And what could be happening right now is that we could be forming another lower high right here before pushing lower. Now, the fact of the matter is we have actually formed multiple lower highs on this time frame during this entire push up, right? So that by itself, is not enough for me yet, just because if we zoom out to the weekly, I am still looking at this as a range or a potential bull flag, right? What we could have over here is something like this, right? So this is really our pole, and then that's our flag going on over there, that parallel channel. If I actually just pull up the fib of the most recent run up from 26,000, you notice that we're finding support at the 0.382, which is actually the common retracement level for bull flags. So this is actually the level that I want to see respected. You sometimes get wicks till down here, but anything below here, and I stop looking at it as a bull flag. So for me, this leg up is still a bull flag, and the reason why I'm discounting that daily bearish market structure is because when I zoom out, I still don't think we're bearish, right? Heck, if you go out to the monthly time frame, it looks even more like a potential flag forming, right, or a consolidation at a potentially flipped level of resistance into support. So what exactly is going on right now? In that last, in my last videos from last week, I had given out this pocket of $52,000 to $54,000 as a key level of support that I was watching. So let me just actually pull out some of those levels right now. Yeah, so this is what I had. We got a swing failure pattern of the 56,500 lows, and I wanted to see a daily close above it, and I said if we did, I was going to look to long a retest. My stop's down here, and the position was, I think I got rid of it, but something along the lines of this. Would have been a retest, stops to the lows, and move back up to the highs. Would multiple take profits along the way, obviously. One of the main take profits for me was this, and this really is going to be a key level, right? The $61,000 level. That's really where we've got this order block, and this was our last lower high, right? If you also draw out the volume profile, the value area low is also coming in at 63,400. Right, which is right above that $61,000 level that I'm watching. So this is going to be a very, very interesting level to watch. If we can reclaim those levels, then yeah. But for me, I'm not. I'm already long just because we have a swing failure pattern. If we get into this green box or this $60,000 pocket, I'm looking to take my first profits. I still have not taken any profits. My stops are still at the same place. We've had a lot of chop. We're in this range basically for now. Now what I want, so I'm gonna go to the lower time frame. What I want to see is this. So this really is the range right here, right? Yeah, right. That's the range. Yep. Okay. So we got that level. I want to see price really just break up above the range, and then push higher. So something like this, right? This is one scenario, but actually, there's another key level that I'm watching, and that's 58,200. right? So let me show you where that comes from. So what I like to do every month, and this is actually like surprisingly helpful, and I think it's going to be beneficial to those who really want to find levels that play out really well. So let me just get rid of all of this. All right, if I just draw out, so I do this every month and every week. What I like to do is I like to mark out the highs, lows, the open. So actually the monthly open is here, my bad. Yeah, so I like to mark out the last month's high, the low, and the midpoint of the range, right? So we call that the monthly range. So this was June's range from 58,166 to 72,086. Now, depending on which exchange you use and which pair you're trading, these numbers are going to vary a little bit. But for me, if you're trading a monthly level like this, then usually a sign of confirmation is a close on the daily time frame. So if I go back to the daily time frame now, you see how this was, we broke down and 4th of July. We got a beautiful retest of it later that weekend, and then another rejection, right? And now we're basically working this level. This is also a it's a daily level from before, right? So you notice how we've closed, we failed to close below here before, we failed to close above here this time. So it is a daily level, but it comes from basically last month's low, right? And so what I want to see now is I want to see a daily closure above this level, and I'm going to look to compound on those longs once we get that, right? So let's say we close up here. What I'm going to look for is basically like a small wick down towards that $58,200 level, and then I'm going to look to compound on my longs, and hopefully we'll see this push up. Now normally what happens, this is especially true about weekly ranges because I love trading weekly ranges, is when you reclaim, when you actually lose one end of the range, meaning you lose the high or the low. So in this case we lost the low, but this is on a monthly time frame. But when you do that on a weekly time frame and then you reclaim it, right, usually price is going to move to the EQ, so the 50% mark of the range. So that's going to mark, so if we apply that to the monthly, we'd likely move back to 65,200. And you notice how that's actually been a really key level of support, resistance, then support, and then we break down, right? So this is actually going to be a really nice level for me to look to take some profits. Now, I think the point of control of the range also comes somewhere along here. Oh no, actually, never mind. It's all the way up at 69 right now. Sorry, 67. Yeah, it hasn't moved down too much. There is some confluence here. You notice that value area low, $63,000 level, is coming in with monthly open at 62.8. So this is going to be, so after that 58,200 level, this really is that next level that I want to see reclaimed, right? $60,000 where I said I'm going to take my first take profits. I'm fairly confident price will trade back there, but that in itself does not mean that we're going all the way back up to the top of the range. Like I said, this could just be a lower high. It could come into this pocket and then push right back down, right? Same thing. You notice the same thing actually happened over here, right? We had the resistance over here, the highs of this. So if I just go in closer, actually. So you see the high of this range was at 62.2, and to end June, we pushed up above it, and it seemed like we formed a higher high. But actually, we just retested a key level and fell right back down. So that's exactly what this could be, right? We have this high over here. Now, we could be forming a higher high, but really in comparison to this level, we could just be coming up to, the last level of resistance, which is here, and then reject and come back down, right? So trading back into this level in itself does not make me feel that we're going to go back up to the top of the range. Right? Even if we reclaim 58.2, that's just me saying from past experience that, hey, reclaiming one end of the range means that there's a good chance we go, to the halfway point of the range at the very least, right? There's a good chance of that happening, but there's still more that I need to see to be fully confident about it. And so that's why it's always smart to take partials along the way. And for me, that $60,000 mark is going to be that first level. But if we can reclaim the monthly open, which is also coming in really close to the value area low of the range, right? Then I'm going to be leaning towards, okay, 65, and then 67, which is the point of control, and then back up to 72, which is going to be last month's high, but also the value area high of the range. So, yeah, 58.2, looking to compound if we can get a retest here. I don't want to see this low lost anymore. I don't even want to see price go back down. In fact, if we close back up above previous month's low, I do not want to see price dip back down below it again, right? Especially if this is a range deviation. Yeah, so that's my game plan. Those are the levels that I'm watching. I don't want to see. If once we close up above 58.2, I don't want to see price close back below that. But for now, until we close, I want to see 56.5, which was the previous low of the range. So it was 56.4. So I want to see that level respected, but that really is the last line of defense for me, 54.4. But yeah, for now I want to see this level continue to hold. If we are able to close above, I'm going to look to compound down here and look for a push up to that $60,000 pocket. That's going to be my first take profit. But I am going to leave some, actually the majority of my position open to see if we can make it all the way up to the monthly open, the value area low, to see if we can actually reclaim it. And if we do, once again, on the daily time frame, I am going to look to compound my longs again over there, right? And then look for 65 and then 67, right? So that's really what I'm looking for with my trades at the moment. So I know the chart actually got a little cluttered, but those are my levels: 58.2, 60 for take profit, but 62 for another compound, and then 65 and then 67. So those are really the levels that I'm watching for now. So let's see how it goes.